We've all heard the story the Great Pyramid of Giza was built as a tomb for Pharaoh Khufu, but here's the problem: no mummy was ever found inside, no treasure, no inscriptions, nothing. Just empty chambers and a level of architectural precision modern engineers still can't replicate. So what were they really built for? Let's start with the math. Did you know the Great Pyramid encodes pi, the golden ratio, and the exact dimensions of Earth? That's not a coincidence. Then there's the strange electromagnetic energy detected by scientists at the pyramid's apex. Why would a tomb emit energy? Add to that the evidence of water erosion around the Sphinx, which suggests these structures are over 10,000 years old, built long before the Egyptians we know of even existed. And if that's not enough, some ancient texts claim that pyramids were already there when the pharaohs arrived. Could the pyramids be the legacy of a forgotten civilization with advanced knowledge, maybe even lost technology? Maybe they weren't built for the dead at all, but power plants, stargates, or vibrational healing centers. The alignments with Orion's belt, the magnetic granite, the absence of burial remains, it all points to one thing: we have been told only part of the story. What if the pyramids weren't built for the dead but for the living, as energy hubs or consciousness amplifiers? Let that sink in, because the past isn't just mysterious, it's powerful. Here's what you need to know about the real pyramids. We typically think of the pyramids as tombs. The idea is straightforward. A pharaoh dies, he's mummified, placed in a sarcophagus, and buried deep underground in a secret chamber accessible only to priests. In this case, it would be King Khufu, ruler of Egypt from 2600 to 2700 BCE, buried in the largest pyramid, the Great Pyramid of Giza. But here's where things get weird. Archaeologists have explored every nook and cranny of these chambers and passages, searching with modern technology, X-rays, infrared cameras, robots. They've even drilled into the bedrock underneath the pyramid. No remains have been found anywhere. No sarcophagus, no trace of a burial. The Great Pyramid is empty. It's as if the king simply vanished without a trace. How can a structure so massive and meticulously designed serve no purpose? And how can its builders achieve such precise angles, such perfectly cut stones without the aid of modern tools? The math behind the pyramids is pure genius. The base of the Great Pyramid is 756 feet, which is 226 multiplied by 3.333. This is close to the actual value of pi, 3.14159. The ratio between the base and the height of the Great Pyramid is very close to the golden ratio, 1.618. The square root of 5, 2.236. Multiplied by 3 gives us 6.78. The number of steps leading up the pyramid is 28. And 6.78 times 28 equals 190, which is close to the number of days in the solar year. These ratios and alignments are not accidental. Someone understood the divine geometry of the universe and encoded it into the pyramids. They wanted to demonstrate that the Earth itself is a living organism made of the same elements and laws as the cosmos. They saw the patterns and relationships of the universe and built the pyramids to reflect them. They believed the Earth was a vessel, a temple where human consciousness could connect with the divine. But why would a civilization that understood physics and geometry build a tomb? For a culture obsessed with precision, the idea of the afterlife didn't seem to matter. Consider this. A typical Egyptian tomb looks like an upside-down t-shirt, a small room at the top where the body is placed, and a shaft for the soul to ascend. The royal tombs are more elaborate, often with multiple shafts leading in different directions. But what about the Great Pyramid? It has no shafts, no air vents, no windows. It's a solid box with 3 small chambers and 5 passages. Even the central lobby is smaller than a single mastaba. Why put such effort into a structure that serves no purpose? Why encode pi, the golden ratio, and the dimensions of the Earth into a meaningless tomb? Here's another intriguing detail. According to satellite data, the pyramid's true shape is not a pyramid at all, but a tetrahedron. Its 4 faces form a perfect tetrahedral shape, aligning with the 4 directions of the compass. The shift in shape suggests something more, something beyond burial rituals. Think of the tetrahedral shape as a giant energy amplifier, focusing cosmic vibrations at the apex. Why would ancient builders amplify energy unless they intended to use it? And what's with the location? The Giza Plateau is rich with sacred geometry. Kheops Pyramid aligns perfectly with the galactic center, as if it's pointing to the heart of the Milky Way. Menkare's pyramid marks the cardinal directions: north, east, south, and west. And the Sphinx gazes towards the rising sun on the equinoxes, marking the cycle of death and rebirth. This wasn't random. The Egyptians believed the Earth was surrounded by a vast ocean of energy, and they wanted to tap into it. They chose the Giza Plateau because it was a nexus of cosmic energy. The magnetic field of the Earth funneled through this area, making it ideal for energy work. In fact, the Egyptians built their temples and pyramids along ley lines, invisible energy pathways that crisscross the planet. They knew that at certain locations the energy of the Earth was particularly strong, and they wanted to harness it. Let's take a closer look at the pyramids themselves. Most people assume they're tombs, but think about what we actually know. The outer casing of the Great Pyramid once glistened with white limestone, reflecting sunlight from miles away. It was meant to be seen, admired, and accessed. Look at the size of the stones near the top. They're much smaller, lightweight limestone blocks, easy to transport and lift. Yet the Egyptians somehow managed to make them perfectly smooth, polished, and flat. They were masters of stonework, able to cut and shape the hardest materials into flawless blocks. In fact, the entire construction of the pyramids defies explanation. How did they move the stones? How did they cut them so precisely? How did they lift them to such heights without modern tools? We don't know. To this day, it's a mystery. But what's fascinating is that no one seems interested in finding out. The official narrative says it doesn't matter. All we need to know is that the pharaoh is dead. The rest is irrelevant. But what if I told you that each pyramid contained advanced technology, devices powered by harnessed earth energy? Would you believe me? What if I showed you evidence of electromagnetics, radio waves, cosmic communication, all encoded into the pyramids? Suddenly, the pyramids become more than just tombs. They become portals, energy hubs, interdimensional gateways, become transmitters and receivers of cosmic knowledge. The evidence is all around us if we open our eyes and minds. Take the Sphinx, for example. The erosion pattern around the paws suggests it was built during a wetter period, possibly 10,000 years ago. This is long before the Egyptians we know of even existed. Yet the Sphinx appears in ancient texts dating back 4,500 years. Was it left over from a forgotten civilization? A remnant of a time before the pharaohs? Could the Sphinx have been a guardian of lost technology, watching over a sacred site for thousands of years? And what's with the alignment of the pyramids? Orion's belt has been visible from the Giza Plateau for 10,000 years, but only for 100 nights a year. The three stars aligned with the three pyramids pointing towards the eternal flame of the setting sun. Was this mere coincidence? Or did the Egyptians deliberately choose this location to connect with the cosmos? What if the pyramids were not built for the dead, but for the living, as energy hubs or consciousness amplifiers? Imagine the pyramids as tuning forks, resonating with the frequencies of the universe. Their precise geometry and orientation allowed them to transmit and receive cosmic vibrations. They acted as antennas, focusing and amplifying the energy of the cosmos. The Egyptians understood that the Earth was a living organism, and they wanted to tap into its energy. They built the pyramids as energy hubs, places where the veil between the physical and spiritual realms was thinnest. They gathered at the pyramids during solstices and equinoxes, when the Earth's energy was most powerful. They performed rituals and ceremonies, activating the energy of the pyramids. They believed these rituals could heal the sick, grant fertility to the barren, and even raise the dead. The pyramids were not just tombs, they were centers of power, places where the energy of the cosmos flowed freely. They were temples of healing where the sick came to be cured and the dying came to be reborn. It's time to wake up and realize the pyramids are not just ancient relics. They are still active energy hubs, still resonating with the frequencies of the universe. All we have to do is tune in and connect with them. So next time you see a pyramid, take a moment to appreciate its power. It's not just a tomb. It's a portal to the infinite. What do you think? Leave a comment below and let me know. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out more content. Thanks for watching. See you next time.